They executed the termination. Her identification badge was surrendered. A cardboard container was provided. The directive was absolute. Her employment had concluded after 2 decades of maintaining lives, preserving fragile existences in the darkest medical emergencies. Nurse Melline Jenkins faced institutional rejection. She had violated protocol by performing exactly what her medical training demanded. Broken, humiliated, drenched by torrential precipitation, walking through Chicago streets toward an uncertain future, Melline contemplated whether existence possessed any remaining value. She was catastrophically mistaken about what would manifest next. 2 military-grade UH-60 Blackhawk helicopters weren't merely approaching the metropolitan center. They were approaching specifically for her. The rotor-generated wind nearly achieved her physical displacement, but the vocalization transmitted by the tactical operator reframed everything instantaneously. We don't want the doctor. We want the nurse. This represents a narrative documenting how a single individual transitioned from unemployed medical practitioner to celebrated national figure within a singular hour. The fluorescent illumination apparatus of St. Jude's Memorial Hospital's Human Resources Department manifested continuous humming, acoustic frequencies specifically calibrated to demoralize human consciousness. Melline Jenkins maintained seated positioning on a gray fabric chair bearing faint coffee aroma traces and existential dread. Her hands occupied her lap, deliberately positioned to conceal their tremor manifestation. These hands had accomplished extraordinary feats: peripheral vein access during vehicular transport, life preservation through direct cardiac intervention, paternal reassurance during obstetric emergencies. Yet positioned against the dismissive Dr. Marcus Sterling and the bureaucratic indifference of HR Director Linda Halloway, these hands registered as completely useless. Insubordination, Linda articulated, her manicured fingernail executing percussion against the manila documentation folder. She maintained visual focus upon the documentation itself rather than Melline, as though paper represented the entity requiring termination rather than human consciousness. Gross misconduct, institutional hierarchy violation. The documented infractions achieve extensive listing status. Melline's respiratory apparatus acquired air, the atmosphere tasting of recycled antiseptic and institutional callousness. I executed patient preservation. The pediatric subject, Leo, he maintains biological continuity. If I had delayed epinephrine administration, while Dr. Sterling completed insurance authorization deliberation, that child would currently occupy the morgue's refrigerated chambers. Dr. Sterling achieved postural repositioning. He presented himself as someone adorning a stethoscope as fashion accessory rather than medical instrument. He commanded surgical operations. His familial designation occupied prominent display on the newly constructed oncology structural division. His psychological ego substantially exceeded the furniture's collective spatial occupation. You executed authority circumvention during critical trauma scenario, Sterling transmitted, his vocalization demonstrating excessive smoothness, practically achieving oily acoustic characteristics. You are nursing personnel, Melline, perhaps overly compensated, perhaps excessively credentialed, but fundamentally nursing personnel. You execute no decisional processes. You implement directives. When you navigated past me toward the emergency apparatus, you manufactured a hostile occupational environment. I manufactured a cardiac rhythm. Melline articulated, her emotional regulation achieving fracture manifestation. His pharyngeal structure exhibited closure manifestation. He demonstrated anaphylactic shock manifestation. You maintained communication engagement with the legal apparatus. That constitutes the essential distinction. Sufficient, Linda interjected, finally achieving optical contact with Melline. Her ocular expression demonstrated complete emotional absence. The institutional determination has achieved finalization. Melline, Dr. Sterling has formally transmitted termination, requests effective immediate implementation. We are executing EMR system access revocation simultaneously. Security apparatus maintains positioning outside for your mandatory locker clearance escort. The subsequent silence achieved suffocating magnitude. Melline examined Sterling. He manufactured a compact, triumphant facial expression. The manifestation of a consciousness that had never experienced denial and possessed zero-tolerance capacity for resistance originating from a 45-year-old trauma nurse bearing mortgage obligations and spinal deterioration. "You are generating a decisional error," Meline whispered. It was not intimidatory vocalization. It represented medical diagnostics delivered through institutional framework. The singular error, Sterling articulated, achieving postural elevation while his pristine white coat underwent faster engagement, involved my initial assessment that you achieved indispensable classification status. The trajectory toward her locker registered as consciousness blur. It approximated attending one's personal existence funeral procession. 2 decades had transpired since her professional commencement. She had initiated employment at age 25, possessing fresh nursing certification and abundant idealism. She had endured the pandemic manifestation, institutional budget reduction, labor strikes, and perpetual staffing insufficiency. She comprehended every custodian's nomenclature, every food service personnel's preferred beverage, and security chief's favorite chromatic designation. Mr. Henderson maintained visual contact with her presently, his facial expression demonstrating profound sorrow and institutional confusion as he maintained escort responsibility toward her occupational conclusion. "I register profound regret regarding this circumstance, Meline," Mr. Henderson articulated softly while she discharged her locker's complete contents into a diminutive cardboard receptacle. "It does not represent your responsibility. Fast, Eddie," she vocalized, utilizing his informal designation while attempting emotional concealment. Her vocal register betrayed complete falsity of her bravery attempt. She executed final navigation through the trauma compartment. The acoustic silence achieved deafening intensity. The accompanying medical personnel, Jessica, Maria, Daniel, maintained their ocular systems directed away from her physical location. They comprehended the situation entirely. They understood that protective vocalization regarding her behalf would generate Sterling's retaliatory targeting toward themselves. The institutional structure had metamorphosed from humanitarian sanctuary into autocratic dominion, with a tyrannical administrator occupying throne status. She approached the automatic glass apertures of the emergency department exterior. The temperate modification achieved sudden sensation against her facial surface, the acute discomfort of unrelenting precipitation. Naturally, the meteorological conditions manifested as rainfall, a gray, contemptible drizzle saturating the metropolitan environment with atmospheric despair. Mr. Henderson terminated his escort at the perimeter threshold. "Prioritize self-maintenance, Meline. You maintain comparable concern regarding personal physiology. Likewise, Fast Eddie. Cardiovascular monitoring maintenance constitutes critical priority." The apertures achieved sealed status behind her with conclusive acoustic manifestation. Meline Jenkins occupied sidewalk positioning, the atmospheric precipitation immediately saturating her dermal covering and fiber material composition. She sustained her cardboard container against her thoracic region specifically to preserve her deceased spouse's photographic representation from moisture penetration. She had not achieved vehicle operational access. Her transportation apparatus required maintenance service. Transmission structural failure she could not presently afford. She would require pedestrian navigation across 6 metropolitan blocks toward rail apparatus access. She executed initial bilateral motion, her footwear generating acoustic percussion against precipitation-saturated asphalt surface. She possessed unemployed classification. She possessed isolated existence status. She possessed absolutely zero directional obligation, requiring immediate fulfillment. The Chicago metropolitan population continued its indifferent navigation around her, completely unconscious regarding her catastrophic occurrence. Motorized transportation apparatus expelled contaminated aqueous matter onto peripheral surfaces. Business personnel bearing protective atmospheric apparatus accelerated past her, their temporal awareness devices indicating constant urgency. Meline executed deliberate velocity motion, the container's gravitational force achieving increased sensation with every stepwise progression. Her consciousness underwent continuous cyclical repetition of the institutional interaction. Insubordination. Hostile occupational environment manifestation. She executed memory reconstruction concerning the pediatric subject Leo. The child had manifested at the facility demonstrating respiratory obstruction manifestation, his hand apparatus positioned against the pharyngeal region, his facial pigmentation achieving terrifying cerulean chromatic manifestation, a severe reaction to arthropod venom. His maternal unit demonstrated extreme vocal stress manifestation. Dr. Sterling had executed hesitation, his consciousness preoccupied with a pre-existing cardiac pathology notation, dissipating essential temporal intervals through dosage deliberation and accountability manifestation. Meline had achieved perceptual registration regarding the child's ocular apparatus experiencing luminescent reduction. She did not achieve contemplative processing. She executed kinetic response. She transmitted epinephrine apparatus. The child achieved respiratory acquisition, atmospheric matter velocity, achieving magnificent sensation into his pulmonary apparatus as though phenomenological miracle achievement. She had executed preservation, and it generated her complete professional destruction. She verbalized toward the precipitation-saturated pavement surface. Perhaps I should have authorized Sterling's management approach. Perhaps I represent merely an antiquated, stubborn medical personnel lacking appropriate institutional position comprehension. She navigated 3 municipal divisions away from the hospital facility, executing pedestrian crossing across a structural apparatus positioned above the Chicago River. When the environmental manifestation underwent alteration, it did not represent optical modification manifestation. It manifested as vibration occurrence. The aqueous accumulations upon pedestrian surface achieved oscillatory manifestation. The transparent material comprising retail architectural elements initiated acoustic percussion. A low-frequency acoustical phenomenon, profound and primitive, began achievement of elevation above vehicular noise manifestation. It achieved rhythmic consistency. Thwop, thwop, thwop. Meline discontinued locomotion. Her ocular apparatus achieved superior directional orientation. The low-suspended chromatic accumulation manifested tearing sensation. Pedestrian entities achieved simultaneous cessation. Individual consciousness executed portable electronic device extraction. Vehicular apparatus decelerated. The acoustic phenomenon achieved escalating intensity, an atmospheric pressure manifestation literally pressing against her thoracic region. Then she achieved visual perception. 2 substantial military apparatus structures, UH-60 Black Hawk aerial vehicles bearing matte black chromatic application, penetrated the cloud structure through aggressive banking maneuvers, clearing skyscraper apex structures with minimal spatial separation. These did not represent commercial transportation apparatus. These represented military apparatus, achieving aggressive low-altitude aviation trajectory. The rotational apparatus draft accomplished immediate environmental impact, manufacturing environmental debris dispersion, and parasol apparatus structural failure. Meline maintained her ocular covering against the atmospheric violence manifestation. What occupies this particular temporal moment? The aerial apparatus did not advance toward the hospital helipad structure. They did not establish airport-directed trajectory. They decelerated into stationary hovering positioning directly above the Wacker Drive and State Street intersection, precisely where Meline maintained her physical positioning. Panic manifestation achieved complete lobby propagation. Pedestrians executed frantic evacuation trajectory, assuming catastrophic structural failure or hostile action commencement. Vehicular apparatus achieved brake application, with resulting collision manifestations. Acoustic percussion of compressed metal structures. But Meline did not execute evacuation response. Extended trauma apparatus experience had engraved freeze and assess methodology into her neurological structure rather than panic escape behavioral manifestation. She achieved sustained observation regarding the leading helicopter's execution of controlled descent achievement. The aerial apparatus pilot demonstrated extraordinary technical competency, precisely controlled descent not toward established landing facility, but directly into the metropolitan intersection epicenter. The apparatus skids achieved asphalt contact with minimal perturbation manifestation. The rotational apparatus maintained clearance mere feet above traffic signaling apparatus. The side aperture achieved disengagement manifestation before apparatus settling completion. 3 humanoid organisms achieved egression. They maintained tactical equipment architecture, but not municipal law enforcement SWAT apparatus. This represented elevated military classification. Non-insignia apparatus, dark green and charcoal chromatic application. Communication apparatus affixed to cranial regions, assault apparatus suspended across thoracic cavities. Yet the leading individual did not maintain weapon apparatus. He maintained computational apparatus, a tablet device. He achieved visual scanning across the terrified populated assembly, his facial expression demonstrating extreme urgency manifestation. He examined individual consciousnesses, his assessment rendering rapid dismissal, his ocular apparatus continuing investigative motion. Subsequently, his perception focused upon her. His perception concentrated upon the female organism maintaining precipitation-saturated blue medical personnel apparatus, sustaining a deteriorating cardboard container. The soldier indicated directional specificity toward her physical location. He did not execute simple indication gesture. He initiated rapid advancement toward her, his ambulatory motion executing taxi apparatus circumnavigation. Meline experienced psychological regression manifestation, her cardiac apparatus achieving elevated percussion manifestation against her thoracic region. What actionable circumstance occupied this current temporal moment? Did this represent hospital-connected occurrence? Did Sterling execute official authority contact? Negative. Official authority apparatus does not possess military-grade aircraft apparatus. The soldier achieved her physical proximity within temporal seconds. He demonstrated substantial physical architecture, an imposing presence, his cranial apparatus bearing precipitation accumulation from his tactical protective covering. He examined her medical personnel apparatus. He examined her facial structure. He examined the identification apparatus still affixed to her clothing, the apparatus that institutional authority had deactivated but not physically extracted. Madeline Jenkins. The soldier vocalized with substantial acoustic intensity across the rotor apparatus acoustic manifestation. Meline achieved affirmative acknowledgement through nodding, her consciousness achieving speechlessness. She sustained her container compression against her physical form as though it could function as protective barrier apparatus. The soldier achieved communication apparatus contact through his cranial aperture manipulation. Asset achieved location identification. Repetition manifestation. Asset achieved location identification. We achieved perimeter positioning manifestation. He achieved ocular refocusing toward Meline. Ma'am, you require immediate transportation manifestation with our apparatus. Our requirement exists immediate implementation. I underwent recent employment termination, Meline articulated, her vocalization demonstrating profound uncertainty. I achieve unemployed classification status presently. If your requirement focuses upon medical expertise, Dr. Sterling, we do not require doctor apparatus. The soldier articulated, his hand apparatus achieving her upper extremity contact manifestation with firm yet desperate grip characteristic. And we absolutely do not require Sterling apparatus entity. Intelligence manifestation suggests you maintain trauma apparatus leadership status during shift operations. You achieve pediatric thoracic trauma specialist classification, correct? I achieve affirmative status regarding thoracic trauma operative expertise. Meline confirmed, her consciousness still experiencing profound confusion manifestation. But ma'am, the soldier continued. The president's familiar relation, his go-daughter. She maintains dying classification manifestation within secure location 20 minutes metropolitan distance away. Her respiratory apparatus achieved crushing trauma manifestation. The Secret Service medical apparatus team cannot achieve stabilization functionality. They achieved explicit request manifestation regarding the trauma nursing specialist classification throughout the Midwest region. 3 distinct surgeon entities achieved your nomenclature transmission manifestation. Meline's ocular aperture achieved widened expansion. The president? We maintain 4-minute temporal interval achievement before she undergoes suffocation occurrence. The soldier articulated, achieving her toward the helicopter trajectory forcing. Drop the container. Meline, we are achieving transportation. My spouse's photographic representation. She achieved vocal manifestation. Resistance achievement manifestation. The soldier executed non-hesitation manifestation. He acquired the container from her manipulation, executing compressed football position apparatus, securing with his alternative upper extremity. Then the container achieves transportation manifestation. Also, he transmitted her postural elevation into his alternative upper extremity apparatus. Subsequently, he executed helicopter apparatus propulsion manifestation. Meline achieved scrambling motion across the metallic aircraft interior surface. Her precipitation-saturated medical personnel apparatus experiencing sliding manifestation across diamond pattern floor apparatus. The soldier executed posterior aircraft positioning, executing the aperture closure manifestation with solid percussion. Takeoff achievement. Acceleration manifestation. He transmitted through communication apparatus vocalization intensity. Meline experienced the stomach-churning sensation of gravitational elimination as the apparatus surged upward, banking with aggressive maneuvering away from architectural structures. Through precipitation-saturated transparent aperture, she achieved visual perception regarding the hospital in distant positioning, a gray structure where her professional existence had achieved termination precisely 10 temporal minutes previously. The soldier achieved her harness apparatus engagement, subsequently transferring communication apparatus headset. Apparatus engagement manifestation required. She achieved trembling manifestation while implementing the headset across her cranial structure. The acoustic manifestation achieved reduction to persistent humming. My nomenclature achieves Captain Miller classification. The soldier articulated, his vocal register achieving crystal clarity now. I achieve regret manifestation regarding the extraction methodology implementation, but we maintain code critical emergency manifestation. We achieved notification manifestation regarding your St. Jude positioning. We executed rooftop landing achievement, yet the institutional administrator transmitted that you had undergone employment termination processing. He achieved attempt manifestation regarding the chief surgeon boarding instead. Meline experienced jolt of cold anger manifestation. Sterling. Yeah, that represents the entity, Miller confirmed. His cranial protective apparatus achieving precipitation liquid removal manifestation. He achieved boarding attempt manifestation. He transmitted that he represented superior medical authority classification. What manifestation achieved occurrence? Meline questioned. Miller achieved grim facial expression manifestation, a slight smile expression. I achieved transmission to my sniper apparatus team member. My specialized weapons operator achieved laser targeting apparatus positioning against this thoracic region. My sniper achieved verbal communication transmission demanding. He achieved seated positioning and sedentary manifestation. He achieved rapid compliance manifestation. Meline achieved consciousness of Sterling, the St. Jude's dominating figure, the unmovable deity of the institution, experiencing absolute psychological terror manifestation, while military apparatus operator weapons targeted his vital organ regions. The mental visualization manifested hysterical laughter achievement within her throat manifestation. You achieved serious vocalization manifestation regarding the circumstance. Miller's facial expression achieved expression of serious affirmation. Completely accurate transmission, ma'am. Now tell me vital apparatus readings. What represents her physiological manifestation status? Her respiratory apparatus exchange efficiency percentage manifestation. Meline achieved her consciousness, refocusing toward professional capacity. Oxygen saturation manifestation demonstrates 82% and decreasing trajectory. Trachea apparatus demonstrates directional deviation. They cannot achieve tube apparatus insertion manifestation. Significant swelling manifestation. They require cricothyrotomy apparatus achievement. Meline articulated with immediate clarity. But pediatric patient classification achieves considerable complication manifestation. Anatomical markers achieve difficult perception manifestation. If apparatus insertion operator achieves mistake manifestation, they achieve jugular apparatus vein contact manifestation or carotid apparatus contact manifestation. Exactly right, Miller transmitted. That achieves precisely why apparatus personnel achievement directed toward acquisition of your operative capability. Meline achieved observation toward the external environment below them. 10 temporal minutes previously, she achieved rainy weather pedestrian navigation consciousness, contemplating her future electric service maintenance financial impossibility. Presently, she achieved military apparatus transportation through air environment towards saving a child connected to nation's supreme executive authority. Captain, she vocalized. Yes, ma'am. I genuinely hope your apparatus operation achieved supersonic velocity classification. Supersonic achievement manifestation, ma'am. Miller transmitted. The Black Hawk apparatus did not execute standard landing procedure. It achieved atmosphere descent achievement through aggressive pilot methodology. The rotating apparatus experienced a dramatic retrogression application at the maximum achievable final moment, specifically achieving impact, cushioning effect upon the O'Hare Air Force Reserve Facility precipitation-saturated tarmac surface. The aperture mechanisms achieved opening manifestation before apparatus wheel apparatus achieved complete settling achievement. Meline's abdominal consciousness region maintained spatial existence somewhere beyond the Chicago River perimeter. Yet her cognitive processes achieved absolute focus manifestation. It was a trauma apparatus consciousness state, a psychological region where financial obligations, emotional sensation, and professional insult apparatus manifestations didn't maintain persistence. There existed exclusively the patient apparatus, the pathological complication, the survival achievement solution. Go, go, go. Captain Miller vocalized with maximum acoustic intensity, executing her harness apparatus disengagement action. Meline achieved apparatus aggression achievement onto the precipitation and jet fuel mixture soaked tarmac. The environmental noise manifestation achieved apocalyptic characteristic beyond the dual Black Hawk apparatus. 3 massive military transport apparatus structures and a distant white presidential apparatus structure achieved visibility. They did not advance toward the presidential apparatus structure. They executed rapid advancement toward a substantial protective structure position at 50-yard distance. The apertures achieved open manifestation, manifesting brilliant artificial illumination into the gloomy climatic circumstances. An apparatus perimeter of armored vehicle structures manufactured steel protective barriers around the entrance framework. Light apparatus achieved red and blue chromatic manifestation through flash implementation. Maintained proximity achievement to my positioning. Miller articulated vocalization, achieving her upper extremity control for guidance through the vehicle apparatus labyrinth. Cessation achievement regarding any other personnel engagement. While they approached the hangar aperture entrance, a wall of charcoal-suited individuals achieved blocking manifestation. Secret Service apparatus personnel. Their psychological presentation, approximating granite, and psychological anxiety manifestation carved into humanoid structure. A solitary individual, featuring cropped cranial hair apparatus and communication apparatus appearing surgically integrated into his consciousness, achieved forward positioning manifestation. Hand apparatus achieving elevational positioning. Halt manifestation. The agent vocalized through acoustic amplification. Identity verification requirement manifestation regarding the civilian consciousness. Hangar listing maintains Dr. Sterling nomenclature. Miller transmitted retroactively, executing non-deceleration progression. Sterling achieves compromised status manifestation. This represents the primary operative asset. Execute cessation manifestation. Agent Reynolds. I cannot authorize civilian consciousness access provision toward protected individual. Miller. Code critical situation manifestation exists. Meline achieved cessation manifestation. She achieved Reynolds visual perception. She did not achieve federal apparatus perception. She achieved living manifestation between a dying child and herself. She achieved procedural egression from Miller's protective positioning. Her precipitation-saturated medical personnel apparatus achieved her physical form compression. Her cranial region achieved disheveled manifestation. Her cardboard container maintenance manifesting like shield apparatus. Agent manifestation, Meline vocalized, her acoustic output achieving surprising loudness through environmental noise penetration. Captain Miller transmitted that the presidential familial relation maintains crushing respiratory apparatus trauma manifestation. With oxygen saturation, apparatus manifestation demonstrates low 80% achievement during 5-minute previous temporal moment. This current temporal interval suggests she probably demonstrates 60% achievement manifestation. This indicates hypoxic consciousness damage, initiating instantaneous achievement right now. You achieve 30 temporal second decision manifestation capacity before the president's goddaughter undergoes vegetative manifestation achievement. Reynolds achieved visual focus upon Melline. He examined the identity apparatus affixed to her clothing, the apparatus that technically demonstrated non-functionality status. He examined her ocular expression manifestation, the absolute determination expression, achieving existence despite her employment termination and institutional rejection. Execute internal achievement. Reynolds vocalized. They achieved rapid advancement internal to the hangar's structure manifestation. It manifested as absolute chaos architectural reality, a portable apparatus medical facility achievement within the structural expanse. Brilliant halogen apparatus illumination configuration surrounded the patient apparatus positioning platform. Monitoring apparatus demonstrated frantic acoustic percussion. The elevated tempo cardiac apparatus rhythm manifestation, achieving acoustic evidence. I cannot achieve visualization apparatus perspective. One individual vocalized. A graying cranial region individual with perspiration manifestation overwhelming his facial structure. He maintained optical magnification apparatus for viewing, attempting pharyngeal apparatus aperture obstruction manipulation to achieve respiratory apparatus tube apparatus insertion. There exists excessive blood substance manifestation. Suction requirement. I require expanded suction apparatus capacity manifestation. Suction apparatus achieves maximum manifestation status. A nurse vocalized retroactive manifestation. Physiological saturation percentage demonstrates 68 manifestation, an alternative individual transmitted. Cardiac apparatus manifestation demonstrates decreased rhythm achievement. Cardiac apparatus pulsation exhibits reduction manifestation. Melline achieved immediate bedside positioning cessation. The patient represented a diminutive female consciousness. Maximum 8-year chronological age manifestation. Her physical manifestation achieved pale coloration characteristic. Her labial region demonstrated terrifying violet hue chromatic manifestation. Her cervical region manifested swelling manifestation, deep angry purple coloration evidence. Massive traumatic apparatus manifestation regarding respiratory apparatus structural integrity. Melline did not achieve permission manifestation requests. She did not achieve self-identification transmission. She achieved positioning establishment at the patient apparatus region's superior aspect, directly adjacent to the struggling kernel entity. Cessation manifestation Melline transmitted. It didn't manifest as suggestion formulation. It manifested as command apparatus transmission. The colonel, Dr. Eris Vance, the Air Force Apparatus Unit's chief surgical apparatus specialist, achieved cranial apparatus directional reorientation with visible frustration manifestation. Who the hell achieves positioning here, presently? I represent the entity who will articulate that you maintain active digging manifestation within a fragmented larynx apparatus structure. Melline vocalized. Her ocular apparatus achieving permanent concentration upon the pediatric patient's cervical region. You maintain continuous orally directed tube apparatus insertion attempt manifestation. You will achieve tissue structure destruction manifestation, and she will achieve permanent respiratory incapacity manifestation consequence. Observe subcutaneous emphysema apparatus evidence. Melline transmission continued, indicating the puffiness manifestation surrounding the patient's clavicular region. Air achieves tissue interior leakage manifestation. Her respiratory apparatus achieves transection manifestation classification. Vance experienced hesitation manifestation. He represented a competent surgeon, a battlefield surgical apparatus specialist category. Yet this did not represent soldier consciousness with weapons-inflicted trauma. This represented delicate pediatric consciousness with extraordinary crush apparatus injury. The entire governmental apparatus consciousness was manifesting psychological pressure upon him. He maintained tremor manifestation. We require surgical apparatus respiratory apparatus access achievement. Vance articulated. His vocalization manifesting tremor characteristic. Yet I cannot achieve anatomical marker identification. The swelling achieves excessive manifestation. If apparatus insertion implementing personnel achieve missed execution, you achieve carotid or jugular apparatus vein contact, and she achieves exsanguination manifestation within 10-second temporal interval, Melline transmitted, completing his articulation. I cannot achieve this operation. Vance whispered, Psychological terror manifestation, achieving voice apparatus presence. I cannot achieve visual perception manifestation. Everything achieves obscuration characteristic. Meline achieved pediatric subject visual perception. She achieved monitor apparatus perception. Heart apparatus manifestation demonstrates 45 pulsation frequency. Oxygen saturation manifestation demonstrates 60% achievement. She executed her precipitation-soaked outer covering apparatus removal, revealing her blue medical personnel apparatus beneath. She achieved sterile apparatus glove apparatus acquisition from the open containment apparatus upon the apparatus positioning table. Vance apparatus manifestation achievement, addresser hand apparatus extension manifestation. Scalpel apparatus provision, Meline transmitted. Vance maintained fixed visual focus upon her. You represent nursing personnel classification. I represent trauma nursing apparatus personnel who maintain 10-year operational duration within Chicago's most overwhelmingly demanding emergency apparatus facility. Meline articulated, her upper extremity achieving extended manifestation positioning. I have executed 3 of these apparatus achievement operations within outdoor parking structure apparatus locations. Scalpel apparatus transmission. Vance achieved monitor apparatus observation. The monotone apparatus manifestation registered imminent achievement. He achieved rapid scalpel apparatus transmission into her manual apparatus. The hangar apparatus environment achieved absolute silence manifestation. Even the Secret Service apparatus personnel at the perimeter manifestation seemed to achieve respiratory cessation manifestation. The singular acoustic manifestation represented the monitor apparatus emitting progressively slower percussion. Beep, beep, beep. Meline achieved cranial apparatus closure for a singular temporal moment. She achieved visualization manifestation of the anatomical structures beneath the swelling apparatus. She achieved mental representation of the thyroid apparatus cartilage, the cricoid apparatus ring, the diminutive membrane, achieving positional status between them. It maintained existence. It achieved manifestation requirement. She achieved ocular apparatus reopening. She achieved lateral hand apparatus extension. Her digital apparatus executing probing manifestation against the pediatric subject's swollen, bruised cervical region. It maintained the sensation characteristic of a water-filled inflatable apparatus. The anatomical markers had undergone complete disappearance. Continue manifestation. She whispered, transmit information to me. She achieved digital pressure intensification, the fluid manifestation achieving displacement beneath her digital appendages. She perceived a diminutive ridge manifestation, a hardness characteristic amidst the fluid-filled trauma manifestation. The cricoid apparatus. I have achieved it. She articulated softly. She did not execute hesitation manifestation. Her superior extremity achieved scalpel apparatus downward direction implementation, not a vertically oriented incision apparatus manifestation. Vance achieved warning transmission. Excessive bleeding apparatus manifestation probability. I comprehend, Meline murmured. She executed a horizontally oriented incision. Precise and confident apparatus achievement. Blood accumulated immediately. Dark-hued and accelerating manifestation. Suction apparatus. Meline transmitted. The military apparatus nurse achieved instantaneous movement achievement. The apparatus field achieving clearing achievement. Meline implemented the scalpel apparatus reverse handle apparatus for tissue structure separation manifestation. She maintained search manifestation regarding white-hued cartilage apparatus visualization, the anatomically expected location within the wound apparatus manifestation. Tube apparatus. Manifestation size 4.0. Now, Vance transmitted the pediatric dimension respiratory apparatus tube apparatus. I am achieving interior manifestation achievement. Meline articulated. She executed tube apparatus progression into the diminutive incision apparatus. It achieved resistance manifestation. The cartilage apparatus had undergone crushing manifestation. If she achieved excessive pressure manifestation, she would achieve complete respiratory apparatus collapse manifestation. If she achieved insufficient pressure manifestation, the tube apparatus would maintain position within the false apparatus cavity manifestation, administering air into the cervical region, generating terminal manifestation. She executed wrist apparatus rotation, a corkscrew apparatus motion pattern acquired from an ancient Vietnam apparatus conflict medical specialist. The tube apparatus achieved breakthrough manifestation. She registered the sensation characteristic, entering the respiratory apparatus structure. I am administering bag manifestation, meline vocalization. The nurse achieved manual apparatus connection to the tube apparatus and compression manifestation achievement. Everyone achieved observation regarding the pediatric subject's thoracic manifestation. No manifestation achievement occurred. No respiratory apparatus motion achievement. No breath apparatus sounds. Vance transmitted through acoustic apparatus. His stethoscope apparatus implementation in progress. You achieved missed manifestation occurrence. I did not achieve missed manifestation. Meline articulated with determination characteristic. It represents mucus apparatus plug manifestation. The trauma apparatus achieved obstruction apparatus manifestation. She executed suction apparatus catheter apparatus threading manifestation through her newly positioned tube apparatus and achieved negative pressure manifestation implementation. She extracted it retroactively. A substantial clot mass of blood and mucus apparatus achieved extraction manifestation. Manual apparatus bag administration achievement. Repetition manifestation. The nurse compressed the bag apparatus. Whoosh! The pediatric subject's thoracic apparatus achieved symmetrical elevation manifestation. It represented beautiful anatomical manifestation. We achieved bilateral respiratory apparatus sound manifestation. Vance vocalized, his vocal characteristic manifesting relief-based cracking. Positive respiratory apparatus access achievement exists. Everyone achieved monitor apparatus observation manifestation. The measurements maintained sluggish initial manifestation. Subsequently, they began climbing achievement manifestation. Oxygen manifestation percentage 70, 75, 85, 92, 98. Cardiac apparatus pulsation manifestation achieved elevation. Beep, 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 beep. The purple-hued manifestation in the pediatric subject's labial region underwent gradual displacement. Achievement of faint, physiologically normal pink-hued replacement. Meline released the respiratory apparatus she had been maintaining since her hospital facility departure achievement. She registered sensation characteristic of maintaining cessation from anterior manifestation. She achieved tube apparatus stabilization through Velcro apparatus strap apparatus implementation, her digital apparatus ultimately manifesting tremor characteristic now that the danger manifestation had undergone termination achievement. Sedation apparatus implementation, Meline transmitted, achieving her customary operational manifestation. Maintain her paralyzed apparatus status. We require consciousness cessation manifestation to reduce respiratory apparatus requirement manifestation until the surgical apparatus team executes respiratory apparatus pathway reconstruction achievement. Apparatus implementation in progress. The nurse transmitted. Meline achieved postural withdrawal from positioning apparatus, achieving blood-saturated apparatus glove apparatus removal manifestation. Her bilateral lower extremity achieved weak sensation manifestation. She achieved positioning transition to the metallic apparatus supply crate, perspiration and precipitation manifestation achieving facial wiping achievement through anterior arm surface implementation. That manifestation represents what Van stared at the tube apparatus, subsequently achieving Meline focus manifestation. I have achieved observation of numerous surgical apparatus respiratory pathway apparatus implementations throughout my existence, and I have never achieved visual perception of comparable excellence. That manifested as the most exceptional surgical apparatus respiratory apparatus achievement I have maintained observation of. Meline achieved faint smile manifestation. Just apparatus conduit system mechanics. Doctor. Apparatus plumbing operation manifestation. She achieved environmental scanning for her container apparatus. She desired seated achievement. She desired communication apparatus initiation to someone, but realization achieved her consciousness manifestation. She possessed 0 individuals to achieve communication apparatus contact manifestation. She had preserved the pediatric consciousness, yet she maintained unemployed classification. She maintained the consciousness of being the female apparatus who had achieved institutional security apparatus egress processing. Subsequently, the hangar apparatus entrance manifestation achieved activity spike manifestation. The Secret Service apparatus personnel manifested postural elevation, manual apparatus placement, and anterior positioning. The protected personnel wall underwent parting manifestation. A singular individual achieved entry. He did not maintain business formal apparatus attire. He maintained casual athletic apparatus covering. Yet his physical manifestation filled the expanse of architectural space instantaneously. He achieved flanking manifestation by 4 individuals appearing exponentially more threatening apparatus. It achieved President Thomas Kane. He registered chronologically superior compared to television apparatus manifestation. Governance apparatus responsibility achieved etching into the cranial region lines manifestation. Yet presently he achieved manifestation as terrified familial unit member rather than free world governmental apparatus authority classification. He achieved rapid trajectory toward the patient apparatus positioning structure. Emily. Colonel Vance achieved forward movement manifestation. She achieves physiologically stable manifestation, Mr. President. Her respiratory apparatus achieves secure achievement manifestation. Oxygen saturation percentage achieves 100 manifestation. The President achieved cranial apparatus closure and respiratory apparatus exhalation. His shoulder apparatus structure achieving sagging manifestation. He achieved upper extremity extension toward the pediatric apparatus consciousness. Emily manifestation. He achieved ocular apparatus focus rotation. They informed me that she was manifesting respiratory apparatus restriction. They transmitted that you could not achieve tube apparatus insertion manifestation. I could not achieve it. Sir, Vance articulated with character integrity manifestation. Despite earlier psychological disruption manifestation, he did not achieve credit apparatus assertion. I could not achieve the apparatus angle manifestation. The swelling manifestation exceeded my surgical apparatus capability boundaries. Then who executed it? The President interrogated, achieving environmental visual scanning. He directed cranial apparatus orientation toward Vance. Vance achieved postural transition and indicated the female consciousness, achieving postural position against the apparatus supply apparatus containers, wearing precipitation-saturated medical personnel apparatus, managing a dampened cardboard container. She executed the intervention. Sir, Vance articulated. Nurse Jenkins. The President achieved approach trajectory toward Meline. The spatial separation manifestation achieved closure and decelerated temporal manifestation. Meline achieved postural elevation, achieving sensation of extreme smallness and completely underdressed manifestation. Nurse Jenkins. The President articulated, achieving manual apparatus extension. Meline accepted it. His grip achieved warm and solid characteristic manifestation. You achieved Emily's existence preservation through your actions manifestation. The President transmitted, his ocular apparatus achieving intensity manifestation. I maintained a sibling entity. Emily's maternal unit achieved terminal status manifestation 2 years prior. I articulated a promise. If we underwent termination of her existence, I would achieve comprehensive caretaking accountability manifestation. He underwent vocal disruption manifestation, emotional manifestation, achieving voice apparatus interference. You have the gratitude manifestation of a nation, and I maintain eternal obligation manifestation as a godparental entity. Meline achieved acknowledgement through nodding, her vocalization apparatus maintaining non-functional characteristic. Where do you maintain operational positioning? The President questioned. St. Jude's correct manifestation? That represents where Captain Miller executed your acquisition manifestation, correct? Meline achieved absolute freezing manifestation. The universal manifestation seemed to achieve momentum termination. She could achieve deception manifestation. She could achieve vocalization manifestation. Yes, permit him to execute communication apparatus contact. Perhaps Sterling would achieve psychological intimidation sufficient to mandate her restoration. But she achieved her container apparatus observation beneath her arm manifestation, the container maintaining Mark's photographic representation. Mark had demonstrated profound hatred manifestation regarding deception apparatus execution. I do not maintain St. Jude's positioning. Mr. President, Meline articulated quietly. I am not presently employed apparatus personnel classification. The silence manifestation achieved absolute characteristic throughout the hangar apparatus space. The president's facial apparatus expression achieved directional shift from gratitude manifestation towards something substantially sharper, substantially more dangerous apparatus manifestation. It registered as a consciousness commanding military force apparatus classification. You underwent termination apparatus achievement. The president reiterated deliberately his acoustic characteristic manifesting lower frequency and chilling characteristic. Yes, sir. 20 temporal minutes prior to your apparatus helicopter arrival, I underwent employment apparatus termination implementation. The silence manifestation achieved deafening magnitude. Insubordination apparatus charge. Meline articulated. I administered epinephrine to a pediatric consciousness undergoing terminal manifestation, while the surgical apparatus leader of personnel was achieving insurance authorization communication apparatus engagement. I achieved consciousness preservation manifestation, yet I manifested protocol apparatus violation. The president achieved Meline's direct ocular apparatus focus maintenance. His manifestation underwent transformation, gratitude shifting toward apparatus characteristic resembling governmental authority, apparatus exercising command authority over international military manifestation apparatus. You underwent employment apparatus termination achievement. The president reiterated gradually, his vocal apparatus registering low frequency and frozen characteristic. By Dr. Marcus Sterling manifestation, the president directed his attention toward his administrative apparatus chief, a female consciousness maintaining tablet apparatus positioning silently behind him. Achieved communication apparatus connection to the Health and Human Apparatus Services Directorship. The president articulated his acoustic characteristic demonstrating low frequency and refrigerated characteristic. Achieved communication apparatus contact with the Illinois Administrative Authority. Determined St. Jude's Apparatus Board of Directors comprehensive membership roster. He achieved postural rotation toward Meline, a compact grim smile manifestation, achieving mouth apparatus positioning. Nurse Jenkins, the president transmitted, I do not think that you will maintain unemployed apparatus classification substantially longer in temporal manifestation terms. Yet initially, do you maintain alternative apparel apparatus manifestation? You achieve visual characteristics of someone who underwent aquatic apparatus transportation achievement. I do not maintain alternative apparatus attire, sir. This container manifestation represents my comprehensive apparatus possession entirety. The president articulated, implementing hand apparatus postural establishment upon her shoulder manifestation. We will achieve apparatus alteration implementation, and subsequently we will engage communication apparatus dialogue concerning Dr. Sterling apparatus manifestation. Subsequent temporal interval, 1 hour manifestation. Meline Jenkins achieved positioning within the Air Force Apparatus 1 Apparatus Executive Apparatus Conference Apparatus Compartment. The perceptual juxtaposition registered as profound manifestation apparatus. 60 temporal minutes prior, she was experiencing atmospheric precipitation manifestation while managing a cardboard container. Presently, she achieved positioning within dry clothing apparatus manifestation, a navy blue Secret Service apparatus protective apparatus covering, and sustained heated beverage apparatus consumption, achieved through a vessel displaying governmental apparatus symbolic iconography. President Kane maintained postural positioning opposite her, his conscious attention manifesting upon documentation his apparatus advisors had recently transmitted to him apparatus manifestation. The pediatric consciousness Emily had undergone aerial apparatus transportation manifestation achievement toward Walter Reed Medical Apparatus Facility through specialized apparatus transport apparatus operatives. She would achieve comprehensive physiological preservation manifestation. I have executed comprehensive documentation apparatus review concerning your existence. Meline, the president articulated, closing the documentation folder. 20-year timeline manifestation. Comprehensive appointment manifestation achievement. 3 value demonstration manifestations achieved throughout the pandemic apparatus manifestation crisis, and 0 documentation apparatus marking manifestations until present-day manifestation parameter. Dr. Sterling maintains particular apparatus manifestation characteristics, Meline articulated through diplomatic apparatus methodology. He maintains belief apparatus that hospital apparatus organizational apparatus hierarchy achievement represents superior importance compared to apparatus personnel intuition apparatus manifestation. He maintains God complex apparatus manifestation characteristic. Cain corrected her, his vocal apparatus demonstrating inflexible characteristic. He attempted to manifest as God apparatus regarding my family through his attempted self-transmission substitution of the apparatus personnel. We requested apparatus manifestation. Before Meline could manifest responsive articulation, the administrative apparatus chief, Elena, manifested aperture entry achievement. She achieved monitor apparatus activation upon extensive wall apparatus structure. Mr. President, Meline apparatus entity, you maintain video content manifestation necessity regarding current development apparatus. Handheld device footage began manifestation achievement. Pedestrian perspective documentation. It manifested the Black Hawk apparatus, achieving ground-level positioning within the metropolitan intersection manifestation. Rotating apparatus manifestation achieved environmental disruption. Apparatus magnification manifestation achieved Captain Miller rapid trajectory manifestation toward Meline apparatus physical manifestation. The acoustic apparatus content transmission achieved clarity manifestation. Rotor apparatus noise penetration achievement. We do not want the doctor apparatus manifestation. We want the nurse apparatus. The footage continued documentation manifestation. Miller executing helicopter apparatus propulsion of Meline apparatus physical manifestation and immediate departure achievement. The Internet manifestation maintains complete consciousness state regarding this occurrence. Elena articulated, achieving documentation apparatus displays scrolling through commentary manifestation upon expansive visual apparatus construction. Comprehensive population inquires regarding the nurse apparatus identification manifestation, the military apparatus personnel preference manifestation, and her physical manifestation status regarding employment apparatus, identifying documentation achievement apparatus positioning amidst workplace apparatus belongings. Meline experienced facial apparatus discoloration manifestation. They achieved visual perception of her container apparatus. They identified her completely and utterly. The Internet apparatus employs rapid analysis methodology. Elena transmitted. They have achieved your identification apparatus through visual apparatus examination against St. Jude's personnel apparatus documentation apparatus website. They have identified you completely. But this manifestation registers as the problematic characteristic Elena articulated. The apparatus display manifested transformation toward comprehensive news apparatus media transmission. CNN apparatus breaking apparatus news apparatus manifestation. The text banner read, Street Jude Hospital apparatus addresses viral apparatus military apparatus manifestation. Dr. Marcus Sterling manifested standing at a communication apparatus position in the hospital apparatus lobby, achieving flanking positioning via Linda Holloway from HR apparatus manifestation. He registered grave apparatus characteristic, serious apparatus manifestation, the embodiment of concerned apparatus administrative apparatus authority. We maintain awareness concerning the dramatic characteristic footage involving one among our former apparatus personnel, Ms. Meline Jenkins. Sterling articulated toward the assembled microphone apparatus collection. It represents a regretful manifestation apparatus situation. Ms. Jenkins underwent employment apparatus termination implementation earlier today due to concerning behavioral apparatus characteristics. While I cannot achieve specific information transmission due to confidentiality apparatus law manifestation, I can articulate that her behavioral apparatus manifestations achieve patient apparatus security jeopardy manifestation characteristics. She maintains psychological stability apparatus deficiency manifestation status. We maintain belief apparatus that the military apparatus might have performed action apparatus based upon outdated apparatus information during their extraction apparatus procedure. Meline achieved rapid postural elevation. Her chair apparatus underwent comprehensive toppling manifestation. That represents deceit apparatus manifestation. Unstable apparatus classification achieves false characteristic. I preserved a boy's vital apparatus status. He achieves getting ahead manifestation regarding the narrative apparatus structure. Kane articulated his ocular apparatus achieving narrowing achievement while viewing apparatus manifestation. He comprehends that military apparatus acquisition occurred. Consequently, he maintains obligation apparatus to achieve your discrediting manifestation prior to your public apparatus perception achievement manifestation. If you register as a hero apparatus, he registers as the antagonist whom terminated a hero apparatus manifestation. If you achieve unstable apparatus manifestation characteristics, he registers as the responsible apparatus administrator who achieve hospital apparatus protection achievement manifestation. The screen apparatus manifestation demonstrated journalist apparatus reporter achievement of interrogative vocalization towards Sterling apparatus. Dr. Sterling apparatus. Can you achieve confirmation apparatus regarding the military apparatus manifestation concerning the hospital apparatus patient apparatus manifestation apparatus? Definitely apparatus negative manifestation. Sterling transmitted through flawless deception apparatus achievement. We achieve manifestation of the circumstance apparatus control apparatus. Ms. Jenkins maintains no longer active apparatus medical apparatus operationalist status within this apparatus. We maintain apparatus prayer manifestation that she achieves necessary apparatus psychological apparatus support. Meline experienced tear apparatus generation sensation within her ocular apparatus. It wasn't exclusively her employment apparatus any longer. It manifested as her institutional apparatus reputation apparatus manifestation destruction. He was manifesting complete reputation annihilation throughout comprehensive national apparatus manifestation methodology, specifically to achieve apparatus personal apparatus protective apparatus manifestation. He will achieve success apparatus manifestation, Meline whispered. He maintains apparatus legal apparatus professional representation. He maintains governance apparatus board apparatus membership. I represent nobody apparatus manifestation. President Kane achieved postural elevation manifestation. He navigated toward the atmospheric aperture apparatus, contemplating the apparatus landing apparatus zone infrastructure apparatus assembly manifestation. You are not nobody apparatus manifestation. Kane transmitted. You represent the female consciousness who achieved Emily preservation apparatus manifestation, and I achieved personal investment manifestation regarding deception apparatus perpetration directed toward my personal apparatus associates. He achieved postural rotation toward her, a playful ocular apparatus gleam manifestation, achieving his facial apparatus, the kind of appearance characteristic achieving international governmental infrastructure collapse apparatus manifestation. Elena, Kane transmitted. Yes, apparatus. Sir apparatus manifestation apparatus. Does Dr. Sterling apparatus maintain active apparatus communication, apparatus conference, apparatus execution, apparatus manifestation, currently apparatus? Yes, apparatus. Sir apparatus. He maintains query apparatus engagement achievement for the subsequent 20 apparatus temporal apparatus minutes, apparatus manifestation apparatus. Good apparatus manifestation, Kane transmitted. Meline apparatus. Achieve apparatus transportation methodology achievement toward your vehicle apparatus manifestation. Where do we maintain directional apparatus progress apparatus? Meline apparatus interrogated manifestation. I maintain a governance apparatus administrative apparatus meeting apparatus accomplishment apparatus scheduled within the Chicago apparatus temporal manifestation afterward apparatus. The president transmitted implementing fastener apparatus achievement on his garment apparatus. I maintain belief apparatus manifestation that we can achieve temporal apparatus modification concerning our apparatus schedule apparatus. I maintain opinion apparatus that it manifests as appropriate apparatus temporal framework for apparatus directing you toward your apparatus vehicle apparatus. And I maintain opinion manifestation that apparatus we should accomplish this apparatus during temporal apparatus manifestation, where cameras maintain operative apparatus manifestation. The apparatus press apparatus manifestation remain packed apparatus with Chicago apparatus news apparatus manifestation, and governmental apparatus manifestation entities who maintain apparatus crowding into the apparatus transmission vicinity. The apparatus Drake apparatus development apparatus manifestation Surrounding every apparatus news apparatus, collected apparatus manifestation source within apparatus Chicago apparatus, and federal government associated entities manifesting collective apparatus manifestation. The apparatus Drake manifestation apparatus Drake apparatus manifestation apparatus. Surrounding apparatus the air apparatus manifestation Drake manifestation apparatus manifestation acquisition Drake apparatus had manifested as Drake manifestation Drake apparatus manifestation Drake. Most Drake manifestation Drake apparatus manifestation Drake years Drake manifestation Drake manifestation Drake manifestation manifestation most exceptional Drake entity within current time Drake apparatus manifestation Drake manifestation year Drake manifestation parameter Drake and each manifestation entity apparatus attempted apparatus comprehensive answer apparatus acquisition apparatus manifestation. Dr. Sterling appreciated apparatus manifestation spotlight manifestation achievement apparatus manifestation. He had manifested his verbal communication systems with meticulous apparatus precision apparatus manifestation. He performed victimized apparatus leadership apparatus manifestation achievement aesthetics magnificently. Medicine apparatus manifestation requires apparatus precision apparatus achievement manifestation characteristic, not apparatus vigilantism apparatus achievement characteristics. Sterling articulated his vocal apparatus dripping apparatus with artificial sympathy apparatus manifestation characteristic. Meline apparatus maintained apparatus decades duration apparatus manifestation achievement positioning. But apparatus medicine apparatus requires apparatus precision apparatus paradigm implementation rather than apparatus individual action apparatus manifestation. But why achieve military apparatus personnel apparatus demand apparatus or apparatus manifestation interrogative apparatus? A apparatus Chicago apparatus Tribune apparatus news apparatus reporter manifested aggressive apparatus interrogative manifestation. Administrative apparatus error achievement manifestation. Sterling dismissed apparatus through gesture apparatus achievement. I provided myself apparatus manifestation comprehensive service apparatus offering manifestation toward the apparatus rescue apparatus team. But in the apparatus manifestation confusion, they acquired the initial apparatus human apparatus manifestation, achieving apparatus medical apparatus manifestation. It manifested as a chaotic apparatus manifestation environment apparatus. Linda Holloway manifested agreement apparatus, positioning manifestation, beside him apparatus. We are presently achieving comprehensive apparatus security apparatus manifestation, procedure apparatus examination implementation, to prevent apparatus comparable apparatus manifestation, infrastructure disruption, apparatus manifestation apparatus, in apparatus future apparatus. Suddenly, apparatus, every apparatus, single apparatus, journalist, apparatus entity manifested their apparatus communication, apparatus, achieving simultaneous apparatus manifestation activation, apparatus manifestation, apparatus buzzing apparatus chiming apparatus acoustic apparatus percussion, apparatus manifestation. A apparatus murmur apparatus manifestation achieved apparatus propagation apparatus. Throughout apparatus the apparatus assembled apparatus collection. Apparatus rapport apparatus manifestation entities achieved apparatus downward apparatus orientation apparatus toward their apparatus visual apparatus manifestation. Followed apparatus by apparatus ocular apparatus reorientation apparatus toward apparatus alternate apparatus reporter apparatus manifestation.